Hello children, welcome you all to the session. Today we will discuss about keys in DBMS. Key is an attribute or set of attribute which helps us to identify a row in a relation or table. It allows us to find the relation between two tables. Keys helps us uniquely identify a row in a table by a combination of one or more columns in that table. Let's start keys. Concept of keys. In relation, each record must be unique, that is, no two identical records are allowed in the database. A key attribute identifies the record and must have unique values. There are various types of keys: primary key, candidate key, alternate key, and foreign key. First one, primary key. What's it? It is a column or group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in that table. The primary key can't be a duplicate, meaning the same value can't appear more than once in the table. A table cannot have more than one primary key. Rules for defining primary key. Two rows can't have the same primary key value. It must for every row to have a primary key value. The primary key field cannot be null. Always we have to give some values to that field. The value in a primary key column can never be modified or updated if any foreign key refers to that primary key. Check this example. In the following table, StudID is a primary key. Student ID, StudID. From this table, we can identify StudID is the primary key. Okay. Then the next one is alternate key. It's a column or group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in that table. This also alternate key also uniquely identify every row in that table. A table can have multiple choices for a primary key, but only one can be set as a primary key. That is its speciality. Multiple choices for a primary key. In a table, so many table attributes are there. From that, we can choose only one field as a primary key. All the keys which are not primary key are called an alternate key. In this table, StudID, roll number, email are qualified to become a primary key. But since StudID is the primary key, roll number, email becomes the alternate key. Okay. Then candidate key. It is a set of attributes that uniquely identify tuples in a table. This also uniquely identify tuples in a table. The primary key should be selected from the candidate keys. Every table must have at least a single candidate key. A table can have multiple candidate keys, but only a single primary key. Properties of candidate key. It must contain unique values. Candidate key may have multiple attributes, must not contain null values. It should contain minimum fields to ensure uniqueness. Uniquely identify each record in a table. Check this example. In this table, StudID, roll number, and email are candidate keys, which help us to uniquely identify the student record in a table. Student ID, roll number, and email. So, we can identify these student ID, roll number, and email are the candidate keys. From this, we choose StudID as the primary key. The remaining roll number and email is known as the alternate key. Okay, clear? Then the next one is foreign key, used to create a relationship between two tables. It's a non-key attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of another table. Foreign key column will for the value in primary key of another table. If present, then entry will be allowed, otherwise data will be rejected. Primary key column table from where values will be derived is known as primary table. is known as primary table or master table or parent table, and foreign key column table will be foreign table or detail table or child table. Check this example, employee table and department table. In this department table, department number is the primary key. This primary key is used in another table as a foreign key. That table is employee, derived from the department table. This department number is derived from the department table. From where this department number is derived, that table is known as the parent table. Department is the parent table. Child table is employee table. In this employee table, we use this department number as a foreign key. From the above table definition, we can observe that the department number column of employee table is deriving its value from where? Department number of table department. So we can say that the department number of employee table is a foreign key whose value is dependent upon the primary key column department number of table department. Clear this foreign key concept? Then SQL and MySQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is a language that enables you to create and operate on relational databases. MySQL uses SQL in order to access databases. It is the standard language used by almost all the database software vendors, pronounced as SQL. Original version was developed by IBM, Almaden Research Center. Latest ISO standard of SQL was released in 2008 and named as SQL 2008. Okay. Processing capabilities of SQL. DDL, Data Definition Language. DML, Data Manipulation Language. Then Embedded DML, View, Authorization, Integrity and Transaction Control. These are the processing capabilities of this SQL. From this we are concentrating the Data Definition Language, DDL. It allows to create database objects like creating a table, view or any other database objects. The information about created objects are stored in special file called data dictionary. The information about created objects are stored in a special file. That file is known as data dictionary. Data dictionary contains metadata, that is data about data. While creating a table, DDL allows to specify name of the table, attributes, data types of each attribute, may define range of values that attributes can store, etc. Major commands of DDL are create, create a table, alter, altering a table, drop, delete the table. These are the DDL commands, create, alter and drop. Then data manipulation language, DML, it allows to perform following operation on table: retrieval of information stored in table, insertion of new data in table, modification of existing data in table, deletion of existing data from table. DML is of two types, procedural DML and non-procedural DML. Procedural DML means specify what data is needed and how to get it. But in this non-procedural DML, specify what data is needed without specifying how to get it. Okay. Then main DML commands are select, insert, update and delete commands. Okay. Select for accessing, insert for inserting, update for changing, updation and delete for deleting the data from the table. Then TCL commands stands for Transaction Control Language. MySQL transaction allows you to execute a set of MySQL operations to ensure that the database never contains the result of partial operations. In a set of operations, if one of them fails, the rollback occurs to restore the database to its original state. For example, transfer of money from one account to another. It follows ACID properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. These are the ACID properties. Commands used for managing the transactions are commit, rollback, save point, and set transactions. Okay, then TCL commands are commit. What's its usage? To save the current transaction, rollback, to undo or cancel the current transaction activity. Save point, to insert a flag or bookmark in various stages of transaction so that later on we can roll back from any given save point. We can set a flag or bookmark. Set transaction, to specify the properties of current transaction. Start transaction, to start transaction activity. These are the TCL commands. TCL commands by default, MySQL automatically commits the changes permanently to the database. To force MySQL not to commit changes automatically, you use the following statement. Set auto commit equal to 0 or set auto commit is equal to off. To start again, set auto commit equal to 1 or set auto commit is equal to on. These are the processing abilities of this SQL and keys in a database table. Okay. Then, okay children, I hope all of you understood about keys in database and processing capabilities of SQL such as DML, DDL and TCL. Study these all portions in a systematic way. Along with this video, I attached the notes and questions also. Take down the notes and try to answer the questions in it. That's all about today's session. See you in the next class with a new topic from SQL Basics. Till then, take care. Bye.